What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at a winning Examon list, because basically I've decided that the alternate art of the Examon from EX-03 may well be my favourite art we've seen in the Digimon TCG so far. It is absolutely stunning, and the good news is that the lovely folks over at DTCG Review have gone and shared a winning Examon list, which makes me very happy indeed. So it is a viable deck, and that makes me very, very happy. Now, as is the case for a lot of lists at the moment, a lot of the tournaments going on are very, very small. Please bear that in mind. So when I'm saying this is a winning list, I'm not saying it won a 700-person tournament. It was quite a small tournament. That's not the point. If you want to play Examon, and I just want to come straight out and say it, I do want to play Examon. This list, if nothing else, this list will give you a very nice starting point indeed. Good, good. So let's start off then with the level 3s. We've got ourselves a lovely Dracomon, the one that came around in Starter Deck 8. Now, this is the one that when you play, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a Digimon card with Dramon in its name among them to your hand, placing the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Well, this is good, because actually we're going to be playing a bunch of these, so this is actually going to help us out very, very nicely indeed. This is good. But it's not the only Dracomon we're actually playing in this particular deck, because we've got ourselves the dual color Dracomon that did actually come around from EX-03. Now, this is the one which digivolves a 0 cost from Babydramon, and when you play, you reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add a blue or green card with Dramon in its name, and a card with Examon in its name from among them to your hand. It's just another way of searching out your stuff, which is good. And then on all turns, once per turn, when one of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in its name becomes suspended, this Digimon gets 1,000 power for the turn. So you can see here that we are very much building up to a particular kind of deck. We are unashamedly going after those Digimon, and that's a very good thing. Although there is actually one other level 3 here, which is not one of those. What we've actually got is the promo, Bluecomon Promo 67. It's a security Digimon, and at the end of the battle, you draw 2 and add this card to your hand. So it adds draw power as a security Digimon, and that's a pretty nice thing for us. Now, I will say we actually did not start off having a look at the lovely level 2, the Babydramon. So let's start off with that now, although I've kind of given the game away here. It's Babydramon! Yay! It is the one from EX-03. This is quite an EX-03 heavy deck. And it's the one that on all turns, once per turn, when this Digimon has Dramon or Examon in its name and becomes unsuspended, you gain 1,000 power for the turn. So it's more of that lovely power boosting that we've been getting a bit excited about. Now, in terms of level 4, I'll be honest with you, it's a Quadramon party. And again, you're going to be seeing a lot of similar names here because we've got a lot of skills that are if you've got Dramon in your name, but it really is. So we've got the Quadramon from Starter Deck 8, security, at the end of the battle, play this card without paying, and then when you play, you draw 2. So you've got a second way of drawing 2, good, and a second card that wants to come out as a security card, and that is going to give you a rather nice advantage. But we've also got the green Quadramon. Yeah, that's right, we have gone full dual colour here. Yay. This is the one from EX-03. Digivolves as a 2 cost if the name contains Dracomon, and it's a blocker. And as an inheritable skill, while this Digimon has Dramon or Examon in its name, it gains blocker. So it's a blocker that you don't evolve out of, which is good. And then we've got the blue Quadramon from EX-03. Digivolves as a 2 cost from Dracomon, and it's got Evade, that is the new keyword skill, whereby when you would be deleted, you can suspend this Digimon and then you're not deleted. Yay! And then on all turns, while this Digimon has Dramon or Examon in its name, it gains Evade. So very much like the green one for blocker, but this one's got Evade instead. And moving up into level 5, we've got a little more variety here. We got, more than one different Digimon, but we are still very much in EX-03. So we've got ourselves a full playset of the blue Wingdramon here. Digivolves as a free cost from Cordramon. It also has Evade, but on your turn, Examon in your hand may treat this card as a level 6 for DNA Digivolution, which is huge because, of course, Examon is a level 7, so you can DNA Digivolve using level 5s, which is obviously huge here. That is a gigantic advantage. And at the end of your turn, you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon with Digimon in its name in play into a Digimon card in your hand, playing the evolution cost. And then on all turns, while this Digimon has Digimon or Examon in its name, it gains Evade. You are probably going to have Evade in this deck, I'm going to be honest with you. But then we've got the counterpart to Wing Digimon. It is Ground Digimon, and it's got Blocker. But on your turn, Examon in your hand may treat this card as a level 6 Digimon for DNA Digivolution. So, yeah, we're not quite at Examon yet, but obviously you can DNA Digivolve your level 5 Ground Digimon and your level 5 Wing Digimon into your level 7 Examon, which is a huge advantage. And again, we've got Blocker. Again, we've got Blocker as an inheritable skill. And again, we got DNA Digivolution at the end of your turn. This is very much a deck that, there's a few older cards in here, but it's gone, hey, all that lovely EX-03 stuff that supports Examon, let's do that. It is an Examon deck, so obviously what we're doing here is building up to Examon using all the stuff that supports Examon. Now, in terms of level 6s, we have Slayer Dramon coming in here, which was also in EX-03. Digivolves as a free cost from Wing Dramon or Ground Dramon, so it still works beautifully here. And on all turns, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes suspended, you unsuspend it. Yeah, double usage, that's good. At the start of your opponent's main phase, you can suspend one of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in its name to force your opponent to attack with one of their Digimon. And it's got the same as an inheritable skill. Start of your opponent's main phase, you can suspend one of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in its name to force your Digimon to attack. It just gives them fewer options and allows you to control the game better, and that's a good thing. But we do have one level 6 green in here as well, and I do mean exactly one. It is the Break Dramon from EX-03. Also Digivolves as a free cost from Ground Dramon or Wing Dramon. On all turns once per turn, when this Digimon becomes suspended, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That's good. And on all turns once per turn, when one of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in its name deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, trash one card from the top of their security. And it's got this again as an inheritable skill, which is absolutely lovely. I'm a fan, ladies and gentlemen. I am a fan. But then we get to Examon. This whole deck has clearly been building up to Examon. And obviously we've got DNA Digivolution from a green and a blue level 6. Although, like I've told you, it doesn't actually have to be a level 6, because we can do it with any... We're only playing 2 level 5s here, and they both can DNA Digivolve into Examon. So it really is from your 5s or 6s, which is beautiful. And yes, obviously it can be a 5 and a 6. When Digivolving, you can place a green or blue Digimon with Digimon in its name from your hand to the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Gives you an extra inheritable skill. Then when DNA Digivolving, you can play a green or blue Digimon with Digimon in its name and 12,000 power or less from your hand without paying. And yes, that includes Break Digimon. And yes, that includes Slayer Digimon. They can literally be played for free here, which is absolutely ridiculous when you DNA Digivolve, which is nuts. I intend that you are playing it from your hand, so you can't play from underneath what you've just DNA Digivolved. You do have to have another one in your hand. But on all turns once per turn, when this Digimon is suspended, you unsuspend this and suspend one of your opponents, so you're mixing the skills on the level 6s. I love it. I've loved Examon since I saw it. It seemed like a really good card. The alternate art made me absolutely fall in love with it, but you can see we got really good skills here, and we have got ways to take advantage of them. This is good. Now, in terms of Tamers here, we are very much looking at Davis Motomiya. We've got the Davis from BT3. That's the one that's at the start of your turn, if you've got 2 or less memory, you set it to free. And on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and grab a blue and green Digimon. Well, we're playing a dual colour blue and green deck. This is good. And then we've got 1 copy of Davis with Ken. At the start of your phase, if you've got a blue Digimon, gain a memory. If you've got a green, gain a memory. If you've got both, gain 2. And on your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with 2 or more colours, you can suspend this Tamer to unsuspend that Digimon. Bearing in mind you're unsuspending when you attack anyway, so if you've got this out, you can basically attack with Slayerdramon. Oh, but I've attacked so I get to unsuspend, because I suspend, but then I unsuspend. Then I digivolve into a 2-colour Digimon, that being Examon, and this lets me unsuspend. Then I attack with Examon, and because I've attacked with Examon, I've suspended, and because I've suspended, I unsuspend. And you see where we're going with this? You're unsuspending 3 times in one turn. That's a little bit broken. But that works. And that's one of the reasons why Examon is so good here. This is nice. Now, in terms of option cards here, obviously, we've got Hammer Spark. Shouldn't really surprise anyone. It's a 0 cost, it gains a memory. As a security, it gains you 2 memory. And you know what? Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not quite as ubiquitous as it used to be, but we've now got 3 cards that we want to see coming out of our security. You can't tell me that's not a huge advantage, because it definitely is a huge advantage. We've then got the 5-cost Megadeth from Starter Deck 9, dual colour blue and green. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then return one of their suspended Digimon to its owner's hand. Yes, that's also very, very good. And then a card which is very much ubiquitous nowadays is Blue Memory Boost, or, Memory Boost generally, but blue and blue decks. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, grab a blue Digimon, and then this goes into your main area, or your battle area, and then on a delay you can gain 2 memory. Yeah, we see this all the time. I love this deck. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I love this deck. I know I generally play green, although to be fair, this is part green, so it still totally counts. But honestly, I just really want to play Examon, and this just fills me with joy. It is very much an EX-03 deck. There are some older cards in there, but it's largely EX-03, and I just like this. It's a deck I'm very excited about. But I want to know what you think. Tell me what you think about Examon. Tell me what you think of this build. Tell me if you think you can do better. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.